Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday. I am so excited because not only do we have our musical starting this week, we have musical starting tonight at 7 p.m., tomorrow night at 7 p.m., and Saturday at 2 and 7 p.m., which come on out. It's a beautiful length of time for young students who are just starting to get into musicals and stuff. Come on down. It's at this school. 6404 Falls in the Neuse Road, Suite 200, Raleigh, 27615. We would love to have you. But today I'm looking off on the side because I'm interviewing one of our amazing teachers. Her name's Melanie, and Melanie is our voice teacher and a piano teacher. She's been with us for a while now. And talk about a technician. This is someone who will not let even the little things slide with singing, which is absolutely necessary as a good voice teacher. You can't let that stuff slide. And when I say that stuff, I mean tension, anything that gets in the way of making a beautiful sound. This woman, this teacher, she's going to catch it. And so if you are thinking at all about taking voice lessons or piano lessons, come talk to us. She is a technician, and all beginning students should be working with technicians. All right, I'm going to have her change places with me, and I'm going to interview her. Enjoy. Hi. So hi, you're on camera.
I'm on camera.
So my first question for you is, well, if you want to do any introductions, then if you want to answer this question, what got you into music? Tell us your story.
All right. So I started singing when I was 8 years old. That was a very long time ago. All right. So my mom gave me the choice between gymnastics lessons and voice lessons. And this was probably the only time I gave my mom any sass. And I looked at her and I said, duh. So I started taking voice lessons at 8 years old, started taking piano lessons at 12 years old, and I just kind of kept going from there. I went all through middle school, all through high school, and then decided it would be dumb not to do it through college. And I just really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. So you had choices on what instrument or activity you were going to do when you went for music. So that's interesting. It's interesting. So it wasn't that like it was a buffet of things that you were doing at the same time. You had to pick and choose.
We did.
It was a different time back then.
It was a different time. It was a different time. There was a lot more going on in school for me when I was growing up. There were a lot more demands on education than there are right now. The laws have changed for education. Um,
Yeah.
and
So
I didn't have the time and my family didn't have the money. It was one or the other. We got to pick one sport and one thing with music for the fall and the same for the spring.
Melanie, I think even if you do have some money, I think that is a brilliant way to go. Because it's almost like by its very nature, you're going to focus in on that because that's your thing.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so you did it for a while. You were taking lessons for a long time. Tell me a little bit about your music school experience and going through all of that because you had a unique experience. So
I did have a unique experience. So my music experience really started in middle school. So there was a select choir. We called it Sixth Select. It was for sixth grade. And I tried out for it. And my chorus teacher, my choir director, her name, you know what? I'm not going to name her. I'm not gonna name her. I'll withhold that information. We'll call her Mrs. F. So she did not let me in to Sixth Select. She didn't like my voice, and that is okay. In seventh grade, I just kind of stayed in chorus, and I really enjoyed myself. And I started working toward the show choir, which was eighth grade. You could only be in show choir for eighth grade.
Was this like full show choir where they're doing choreography and all? Okay.
Full thing, full shebang with the sparkly sequined dresses and everything.
The worst.
Oh, they were terrible.
So much fun to wear, but yeah.
So fun to wear. And so I auditioned for show choir and I got in and it was awesome. And then different teacher. Okay. So went to the high school and in ninth grade, I laid a little bit low. I joined the marching band absolutely loved
What
it.
instrument?
Okay, so this is kind of interesting. You ready for this? So in middle school, because I had the piano background, I wanted to join band, and I joined band as melodic percussion in the pit orchestra.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
And
So would you recommend that for pianists who are
oh
playing?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
love it. And it really strengthens your wrists, by the way.
Mhm.
Um, so in high school, when I moved up to full marching band, which I highly recommend to everyone, you're going to make amazing lasting friendships. You're really going to get it good at your instrument.
Mm.
It's just a blast. It's such a good time. And if you've gone through band camp, you are officially allowed to call football players wimps.
I
100%.
don't doubt that at all.
100%. So when I got to band camp, okay, I was told that there were too many upperclassmen in the pit. There were no other instruments, no other parts. So I went to bass drum. I was bass drum 1 for my freshman year in high school and bass drum 2 for my sophomore year. And then I went to my drum instructor, and I'll name him because he was awesome. His name's Terrell. I said, dude, I actually called him dude. I said, dude, put me in pit. I've had enough. And he goes, okay. And I loved being on bass drum. I loved it. But I wanted to be in the pit.
Mm.
So he put me in there, and I learned how to play with 4 mallets. I learned how to play with 6 mallets, actually.
You're teaching me a lot of stuff I didn't know about.
Yeah. So I learned how to play with 3 mallets in each hand. I still have the blisters to prove it. And decided to continue doing that through college. Actually, Terrell was the reason I continued doing music through college.
Oh, wow.
So I did not think that I was good enough, because in high school, the same choir director, now she was brilliant. She really knew how to take us to the next level, but she picked favorites, and I was not one of her favorites.
Mm.
And so she never let me into the select choirs in high school. And I just kind of figured it was because I wasn't good enough.
Mm.
So during high school, both of my parents lost their jobs thanks to the economy crash.
Mm.
And so they couldn't afford to continue putting me through lessons. So I kind of stopped for a few years. Um, our graduation ceremony, our final concert of the year for a concert band. Uh, our band director, Mr. C, and we'll go back to Mr. C. He told everyone in the audience, every one of the seniors, he called to the front and he said, this is what they play. This is how amazing they are. This is where they're going to school. This is what they're doing in college. And some of us went to trade schools. A lot of us went to trade schools, actually. And I decided to pursue my college degree. And because I had it in my head that, maybe I really just wasn't that good, I decided to go for English education, for literature. And because I love books. You should see my bookshelves at home. It's bad. Don't ever stop buying books. Ever. They make great friends. So after we had packed everything up and my parents and I are walking out to the car, Terrell comes running up to me in the parking lot. And he said, you are crazy if you think I'm going to let you waste what I have seen. He said, I will hunt you down and force you to play. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's do this. Because I knew from a really young age that I wanted to be involved in music, always wanted to be involved in music. And it was kind of a crushing blow to me to be told by one teacher that I wasn't good enough to do what I love to do.
It's so much power.
It's so much power.
It can really alter just your trajectory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I changed my major. Day of orientation, I said, nope, I'm going to do music education. That's it. And they started scrambling, and they're like, okay, well, I guess we can move you over here, and you need to do the placement exams and this, that, and the other thing. But 5 years later, yeah, because it's a brutal degree, but it is worth it. It is.
I remember.
Yeah.
Took me 5 years too, so I understand.
But I'll tell you, there's one teacher that can really kind of destroy everything.
Yes.
There's that one teacher that can really make it worth it.
Yes.
And that was Mr. C. Yeah. So he was absolutely. Yeah. So Mr. C has passed away from cancer. He passed 2 years after I graduated high school. But he was the concert band director. So we had a marching band director and we had a concert band director. And I used to eat lunch in Mr. C's office every day. I would have him sign my hall pass so I could come for study hall and just hang out in the band room. He and I would talk about random shows that he had gone to see over the weekend, or, he would always tell me about, hey, this marching band competition is next weekend. Are you going? Tell your parents, and he was a second father figure for me all through high school. And he really helped me hone my craft. And he told me to consistently go out for, the show choirs. And actually, I'm not going to say that he did this for me, even though I'd like to. He may have, I don't know. But I went to him one afternoon and I said, well, she turned me down again. It was the third year that I had tried out for governors and first ladies. They wore the gold sequin dresses.
Yeah.
But they were great, right? They were so good. But it was the third year she had turned me down. And I walked into his office and I'm like, you know what? I just kind of give up because she doesn't want me. She won't let me in. And he goes, again? I said, again. And the next week, he created New Arrangement, which was a secondary show choir. And we placed better than Govs and Ladies.
So he directed the
He
choir?
directed it.
That is a teacher that completely believes in you. Because that was more work for him.
Oh, it was a lot of work for him. Yeah, he gave up his lunch period to do that every day.
Obviously, he was well liked because he had more people come in.
Oh
right?
gosh, everyone loved him. Erin, you should have seen the turnout at his funeral. So you know the story of Beethoven and Beethoven's funeral, how everyone, he was like, everyone hates me and no one will ever show up to my funeral. 1,500 people, right? Almost all of Vienna showed up for his funeral. There was no sitting room for Mr. C. There was no room left in the building.
That is a legacy.
Right?
That is, wow.
Yep.
So you obviously went, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That much. So he completely helped change your trajectory. And look at where you are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not only, you guys can't see me, but not only did she do the singing and everything, she is an excellent teacher.
Thank you.
And we all know Erin is very temperamental about that stuff. And I have bought in because this woman will not accept tension. And there are so many teachers out there who do. So your school really prepared. Now, did you have a teacher at your college that you really like? So it was really your high school that was
for college. So I had some really amazing professors in college, really amazing. I was involved in the percussion ensemble for a couple of years because I just really wanted to do it. And then I just couldn't keep up because there were so many classes, right? And I wasn't on the same level as them. I enjoyed doing it, but I really wasn't on the same level. And I needed to make space for the percussion majors who needed room in that ensemble, right?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? But
I involved in jazz too, though. At some point,
yeah, I was.
You were in the jazz.
I was in the jazz ensemble. We called it After Hours. I know. And surprisingly, at that point in time, I was the highest soprano in the jazz choir. And now I'm like the lowest alto in the choir. How funny is that?
Well, the chorus placement is not always based on what your voice type actually is.
That is very true.
Sometimes it's based on how well you read, all that stuff. And you're a good reader. So is there anything else before we go? Because I want them to get a good full picture of you. Anything else you'd like to say just about your experience being a teacher, performer, anything?
Well, rule number 1, don't ever stop looking for opportunities to perform. Never. Always look for opportunities. And it could be anything. It could be doing concerts in your living room. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. That. Right? But always look for things in the community that you're able to do and get involved in. Honestly, some of my best memories when it comes to the musicals are stage crew.
No part is too small.
No part is too
No
small.
job is too small.
And we totally cheated. So we didn't make the play. I didn't make the play, the show for 2 years in a row. I sang backstage and she never knew. I was the one who was hitting the high D's and the high E's in the last number because no one else could do it. And she was like, oh, thank you, so-and-so. Oh, thanks, so-and-so. And they're just like, it wasn't me.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. So you made it work.
I made it work.
You are the future of music, right? With music, we are our own product, right?
Yes.
So we have to make our own opportunities. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what you did.
Yep.
You made your own opportunity. You got your foot in the door like that.
Yeah. Yep. I kind of, I snuck my way in, but I had fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melanie, thank you so much for talking today. I mean, it just goes to show when you have teachers that really care, you can do anything.
That is very true. That is very true. I mean, I wasn't even thinking of going to college until Mr. C told me that I needed to. And I wasn't going for music until Terrell told me I had to. Yeah. Because of that, just one teacher.
Isn't that kind of
Everything was stripped and then it got built back up again.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just that meant that deep down inside though, that's what you wanted. And so he helped give you some confidence to like get there.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, Melanie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
Again, if you are interested in working with Melanie, I'll be here. If you're interested in working with her, reach out, RaleighSchoolofMusic.com. See you soon. Bye.